But Jeff, now it's time to welcome our next guest, David Wright. David is the founder of Wright Financial Group in Toledo, Ohio, and has been helping clients navigate these types of issues now for over 30 years. He's an income specialist, of course, with our very own retirement income store, and he's also an investment advisor representative. Dave, thanks so much for being such a good friend of the income generation.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me. Hi, Jeff.
So Dave, why is basic estate planning a good financial plan?
It's a good financial plan because you want to have a well-coordinated plan, one that has income, certainly, but you want to make sure that that income continues after you're not here anymore. Obviously, people need to look at beneficiary designations, and we do that all day long with IRAs and 401ks and all that stuff. But if you're really doing your job as a fiduciary, you take a look at the entire client's net worth, what they have in real estate, rental property, making sure all of this stuff passes adequately at death with the least amount of taxes and minimizing probate along the way.
So you said something really important about minimizing taxes. And so most people won't have an estate tax, Dave. You got to be worth more than, 10 million plus to have an estate tax. But a lot of people will have income taxes on their assets, correct?
That's true. I mean, when they pass property, obviously some property gets a step-up basis at death. But obviously, if they've got bank accounts, brokerage accounts, things that aren't titled properly, they can be in a position where they are going to be paying some income taxes in respect of decedent, also some other probate costs that they could avoid. And another thing that I see quite often, Jeff, is people don't take the time to update their durable powers of attorney as well as their living wills. They got to make sure that these things are current, just as much as every 2-3 years, making sure that their property is going to pass and the documents are up to date. Because if you're not here to take care of your own events, if you're sick or under the weather, you got to have somebody be able to step in and help you with medical decisions as well as financial decisions on your assets.
And Dave, you're right. That's an important point. We didn't talk about that. We talked a lot about getting the estate plan set, but the fact is you got to update it on a regular basis, not just the living will, but also, maybe something changed. Maybe maybe the person you thought was going to be your co-executor shouldn't be your executor, right? How many times do you see wills and trusts with outdated information and the people have totally forgotten about it, right?
That's right, David. Good point, because a lot of times we're making the phone call to their investment companies. Perhaps the particular client isn't able to make decisions for themselves. If that document has not been updated in the past 5 years, a lot of these financial institutions, 401k plans, they won't recognize the document simply because it's out of date. They don't have proof that the client's still married or this person they nominated on the durable power of attorney is even still somebody that they speak to. So it's important to make sure that you have something current that financial institutions will accept in your particular case.
Or even worse, sometimes you have a client sitting in front of you that's of sound mind. You call the IRA custodian that they currently have, and guess what? Their ex-spouse is still the beneficiary, right? And the look of horror on their face when they realize that. So, exactly. Dave Wright, as usual, it's been our pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us.
Righto. Good seeing you guys.